I'm Mary Wood. I've been a physio for over 40 years, and I've been helping males and females with bladder, bowel, and sexual function for over 30 years. I'm also clinic director at CURA Physical Therapies, where there are 9 physiotherapists with a special interest and expertise in treating pelvic health conditions, including John, our male pelvic health physio with a special interest in all things male. You're going to develop awareness of where these muscles are. Learn how to activate these muscles by contracting them and relaxing them. Learn 2 different ways of working with Kegel muscles and doing these exercises on a regular basis over the course of 3 weeks should help you with your symptoms. If after doing these for 3 weeks you're not seeing any change, you need to get help, and there is lots of help available for you. Managing or improving pelvic health symptoms, whether it be leakage or frequency, urgency, or even sexual problems, that the research is clear that pelvic floor muscle training, Kegels, are the first line of treatment. And the research is grade A. There's not that many areas in physiotherapy that we can say have grade A support. So now that you know what we're going to do in this session, let's help you find your pelvic floor. So what I want you to do is I want you to sit up tall and be aware of where your pelvis is, and specifically be aware of the 2 bones, your sitting bones, that you're going to be on. And I want you to just shift side to side. And then you're going to be aware of the soft spot in the middle. That soft spot is what you can feel from the outside of your pelvic floor. And that pelvic floor is attaching from the tailbone at the back to the pubic bone at the front. From that soft spot in the middle, it may not seem like there's a lot there, but when you look inside, you can see that there's an extensive muscle that's there to support. For both females and males, it's supporting the bladder that's at the front, just behind the pubic bone. For females, it's then supporting the uterus and the vagina, and for both males and females, deep inside that pelvic floor is supporting the rectum. For females, that means that the pelvic floor has 3 openings, and for the males, 2. So now that you have that awareness of where your pelvic floor is, we're going to talk about how to activate this pelvic floor. You can stop rocking side to side, but please remember that awareness of that soft spot in the middle that's connecting the tailbone at the back to the pubic bone at the front. Because I'm going to describe how to do a pelvic floor exercise, also known as a Kegel. Because what you're going to be trying to do is you're going to, like with any muscle, you want to activate it by contracting it or tightening it and being able to relax. The important part for many people with pelvic floor muscle training is that they can't relax their muscles. So please be aware that that's something we're going to focus on. So thinking of that soft spot in the middle, and then having awareness of the tailbone at the back and the pubic bone at the front, you're just going to try to tighten those muscles and then relax. You should feel that that soft spot, there's feeling a little bit of a lift and then a relaxation. There's a number of cues that different people will respond to. So we're going to run through some of them, and I want you to be aware of which one is the easiest one for you to connect to and feel that contracting or lifting and then that full relaxation. So the first one is, I want you to imagine your tailbone at the back and then the pubic bone at the front, and just imagine you're bringing the 2 bones together and then relaxing completely. So that's an anatomical cue. The next one will only resonate for females. I want you to imagine your vagina is a rose. And with that, you're going to, when you contract, it's imagining a rose closing, and then when you relax, that rose is opening. For the males, what I want you to think about is you want to imagine that your penis is the head of a turtle. And when you contract, you're pulling the turtle head into the shell, and when you're relaxing, the turtle head's coming out of the shell. So those are a couple of options. And now we're going to go 2 more options. This next one is, again, works more for females. And that is, imagine there's a blueberry at your vagina, and when you tighten, you're pulling the blueberry inside, and when you're relaxing, the blueberry's coming out. For males, the other image that works is just simplistically pull your nuts to your guts and then relax completely. It's important that you have that awareness of both contracting and tightening and relaxing. For many people with pelvic health problems, the problem is that they're often not relaxing their pelvic floor. So it's like their pelvic floor is in a fist. And so you can imagine that if you're thinking you need to tighten, but you're already in a fist, you can't go any further. So that's why I'm emphasizing you must be able to feel that relaxation. So you've got a place to contract from. You have your cue. I'm going to get you to do a number of these contractions because now I want you to think about, are you holding your breath? You shouldn't be holding your breath. Are you tightening your legs up and squeezing your legs? Are you sucking your stomach muscles in and your abdomen in? Those are all the 3 common problems, especially the one where you tend to hold your breath. The reason you don't want to be holding your breath is that when you breathe in, your diaphragm pushes everything down onto the pelvic floor. When you breathe out, the diaphragm comes up. So having the pelvic floor contract is going to be much more natural on a breathing out than a breathing in. So again, I'm going to get you to practice just doing that cue that worked for you and make sure that you're not holding your breath, you're not sucking your gut in, and you're not tightening your legs. So now that you know how to find your pelvic floor, the cue that works for you, let's go into pelvic floor muscle training or using your Kegel muscles to get better function so that it'll help with your symptoms. The first one we're going to do is what is considered a traditional Kegel. And that is where you're going to tighten those muscles and you're now going to hold for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax completely for a count of 10. You need to relax these muscles so that you can get them ready for the next contraction. Then you're going to, again, contract and hold using the cue that you use for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to relax completely for a count of 10. That is traditional Kegel pelvic floor muscle training, which is intended to help with leakage, to help thicken the muscle, for support for the structures, and to help tell the bladder to relax. And the goal will be to do 3 sets of 10 per day. You're generally going to start these in laying, then progress to sitting, and then you can progress to standing, but only if you can still continue to relax completely between. The next one you're going to work on are going to be rhythmical contractions. And rhythmical contractions are important for coughing, sneezing, reacting to a fall, going from sit to stand. And with these, you're going to use that one of the cues, whether it was the anatomy cue, rose, blueberry, turtles, or nuts to guts. But you're going to be doing a full contraction and a full relaxation rhythmically. And it's just up and down. And you're going to start slow. Your goal will be to do 10 in 10 seconds, but it's more important that you start slowly and just get a good contraction relaxation. It requires flexibility in the muscle, and it's training the muscle to react, which you're going to need for a variety of conditions. And the final one I want you to be trying at home is to see if you're doing the neck. And that's because the pelvic floor muscles should automatically have the knack of being able to contract when you cough, you sneeze, you lift something heavy, you go from sit to stand. And many people, this is a piece that they have lost. They've lost the knack. And an easy way for you to figure that out is to do a cough. You're going to put a hand over your belly, and then you're going to just do a cough. If you have maintained the knack, your stomach muscles will come in. If you've lost the knack, you're going to find you cough and your belly comes out. So before I talk to you about how to train the knack back in, just try that. So try a cough. Did your belly go in? Did your belly go out? If you need to train the knack back into your daily habits, what you're going to do is you're just going to do a strong pelvic floor every time you cough or sneeze or lift. That, if done consistently, will change in a week or two. It doesn't take much to train it back in. So that's something you can be working on now. As I said, listening to this and doing this for about 2 to 3 weeks should make a difference in your symptoms. If it isn't, you need to talk to your healthcare team about what may else need to be done. And there are a number of physiotherapists that can help you with this. So in this session, you have learned how to find your pelvic floor and where it is. You've learned what the cues are that are going to help you with contracting and relaxing your pelvic floor. And I've given you 3 different ways of working your pelvic floor. Changes in pelvic health function are typical with aging, but in my opinion, do not have to be considered normal. There is a lot that you can do to help yourself, and there's a lot of help out there for you. If you would like more help from our clinic, you can contact CURA Physical Therapies at 780-443-4473 or email us at patients@curaphysicaltherapies.com. I hope you have found this presentation has given you some hope in managing your pelvic floor problems. There is help out there. If you need more help, please get it, as you don't need to be managing these symptoms on your own.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of OLTV. If you liked what you saw and you want to watch more, like this video and subscribe to the Optimal Living channel right here on YouTube.